crucial updates that we are tracking from the Parliament. The Immigration and Foreigners Bill 2025 is expected to be tabled in the Parliament today, proposing a comprehensive overhaul of India's immigration laws. Now, the bill aims to enhance national security, streamline immigration procedures and impose stricter penalties on foreigners who violate entry and stay conditions in India. It introduces a significant shift by placing the burden of proving legal status on individuals rather than the state. The bill explicitly states that any foreign national posing a threat to India's national security, sovereignty or integrity will be denied entry or permission to stay in the country. It also proposes mandatory registration for foreigners upon arrival, restricting their movement, name changes and access to protected or restricted areas. Additionally, institutions such as educational establishments, hospitals and nursing homes will be required to report foreign national to immigration authorities. Now, the new legislation seeks to replace colonial-era laws. This includes the Foreigners Act of 1946, the Passport Entry into India Act 1920, the Registration of Foreigners Act 1939. These laws were enacted during the World War era and are now seen as outdated. The government argues that a unified framework is necessary to avoid overlapping regulations. But that's not all. It also seeks to repeal the Immigration Carriers Liability Act 2000 by creating a single comprehensive framework for regulating foreigners entering India. On that note, let's also take a look at some of the key provisions that have been included in the draft. NewsX did access the copy of the draft. We've taken you through it just 2 weeks back in a very comprehensive manner. But here are some of the key provisions in the draft that have been included. This, of course, going to be tabled by Union Home Minister Amit Shah. First up, entering India without a valid passport or visa may lead to imprisonment of up to 5 years and a fine of up to rupees 5 lakhs. So, these are, of course, some of the key provisions. The second is that foreign nationals will be required to exit at their own expense and provide biometric data for identification. So, this is to streamline the identification process. Meanwhile, foreigners using forged documents could face a jail term of up to 2 to 7 years with fines ranging from rupees 1 lakh to rupees 10 lakhs. Of course, once again making sure that stringent provisions are included. Number 4, overstaying, violating visa conditions or accessing restricted areas could result in imprisonment for up to 3 years and a fine of rupees 3 lakhs or both. Restricted areas, we of course know they are sensitive areas where our security forces keep a tight vigil. Transport carriers bringing foreigners without valid documents will be held accountable, facing fines of up to rupees 5 lakhs. So, it's not just the foreigners, but it's also those who are abetting their entry into India who will be held accountable. As far as transport carriers are concerned, those who bring foreigners without valid documents could also face potential seizure of their transport if vehicles are penalties, I beg your pardon, are not paid. So, the vehicles can be seized by the government if the penalties are not paid by the transport carriers. Now, if a foreigner is denied entry, the carrier will be responsible for their immediate removal from India. So, here the burden of proof is not with the state, it is with the individual itself. Point number 8, immigration officers have been granted the authority to arrest individuals without a warrant. So, this is of course very crucial. No warrant for arresting a particular individual. That is also a clause that has been included in this particular bill. We of course will be keeping our eyes peeled for Union Home Minister Amit Shah and what exactly will transpire in the Lok Sabha